The world no longer looks at the Philippines with pity. Instead, there's a new sense of curiosity and even caution in the air. The global community is beginning to realize that the Philippines is no longer content to play a supporting role in world affairs. Today, it watches with apprehension and respect. The country's leaders are now welcomed as equals at international summits, and the Philippine voice carries weight in global discussions. The world is learning to listen when the Philippines speaks. A nation once defined by its colonial past is now rewriting its story with unapologetic force. The Filipino spirit, once subdued, is now bold and unafraid, fueled by a new generation that refuses to be held back by old limitations. The Philippines commands global attention, not just as a scenic destination, but as a formidable player on the world stage. Its cities pulse with energy, its industries are thriving, and its military presence is felt far beyond its shores. This transformation is a seismic event, rooted in bold political will, a booming economy, and the global rise of Filipino brands. Visionary leadership and entrepreneurial drive are reshaping the nation's destiny, inspiring pride at home and admiration abroad. Assertive foreign policy, especially in the South China Sea, has forced the world to reconsider its alliances. The Philippines is no longer a bystander. It is a key player, defending its interests and forging new partnerships with confidence. Internally, the upcoming 2025 midterm elections are a battle for the nation's soul, watched closely by the world. The choices Filipinos make will shape not just their own future, but the region's balance of power for years to come. The tourism sector is shattering records, fueling jobs and infrastructure, and challenging outdated narratives. The world is discovering a vibrant, modern Philippines, one that welcomes visitors with open arms and dazzling experiences. Filipino brands like Red Horse Beer and Emperador are conquering global markets, symbolizing cultural confidence and resilience. These products are more than exports. They are ambassadors of Filipino identity, celebrated from Asia to Europe and beyond. From politics to products, the Philippines is sending a clear message. This is a nation on the rise. We are here, we are strong, and you will hear our roar. The new era of Filipino power has only just begun. The Philippines has ended years of acquiescence in the South China Sea, marking a dramatic shift in its approach to maritime disputes. No longer content to watch from the sidelines, the nation is stepping forward with renewed determination and clarity of purpose. This bold new direction is being driven by President Marcos Jr., who has made it clear that the era of silence and hesitation is over. His administration is sending a message to both allies and rivals that the Philippines will not be intimidated. The Navy and Coast Guard now actively defend the nation's waters, patrolling contested areas with vigilance and resolve. Their presence is a daily reminder that the Philippines is ready to protect its maritime boundaries. Directly challenging Chinese incursions, the Philippines is strengthening its security alliances, especially with the United States, and investing heavily in military modernization. Joint exercises and new equipment signal a commitment to regional stability and deterrence. This is not a nation asking for permission. It's building the capacity to enforce its rights, training its forces, and preparing for any challenge that may arise. The message is clear. Sovereignty will be defended at all costs. The world's gaze is fixed on Manila, recognizing a shift in Southeast Asia's balance of power. International media and foreign governments are watching closely, aware that the Philippines' actions could reshape the region's future. National pride is surging, with Filipinos overwhelmingly supporting leaders who defend sovereignty. Across the country, there is a renewed sense of unity and purpose as citizens rally behind their government's stand. The Philippines is showing smaller nations that resistance is possible and sovereignty is non-negotiable. Its example inspires others in the region to assert their own rights and interests, despite overwhelming odds. Diplomats and analysts now debate Manila's every move, as the South China Sea becomes a more principled, volatile theater. Every decision is scrutinized, every maneuver watched, as the stakes grow higher. The world fears the Philippines not for aggression, but for its resolute courage, a nation standing tall, determined to shape its own destiny in the face of daunting challenges. The 2025 midterm elections are a crucible for the Philippines' future, a pivotal moment that will test the nation's resolve and unity. Across the archipelago, millions of Filipinos are preparing to cast their votes, aware that their choices will echo far beyond the ballot box. This election is more than a contest of personalities. It is a referendum on the country's defiant foreign policy and its stance on sovereignty in a rapidly changing world. The central question looms large. Will the nation continue its assertive independence, charting its own course, or revert to a more accommodating approach with powerful neighbors and allies? The political war between the Marcos administration and the Duterte clan, including high-profile trials and dramatic courtroom battles, has electrified the landscape and deepened divisions. The outcome will not only determine the country's strategic direction and power structure for years to come, but also influence how the Philippines is perceived on the world stage. Recent surveys show Filipinos decisively support candidates who pledge to defend national sovereignty, reflecting a growing sense of pride and determination among ordinary citizens. This patriotic groundswell is a force politicians cannot ignore, signaling a long-term commitment to self-reliance and a desire for a government that truly represents the people's will. The election is a stress test for democracy itself, with global media and foreign governments watching closely, eager to see whether the Philippines will stand firm or falter. A clear mandate for sovereignty will make the Philippines a more confident and assertive partner on the international stage. A retreat could create a dangerous power vacuum and uncertainty in the region. As dawn breaks over Manila and anxious faces gather around television screens, the world holds its breath, waiting to see which path the nation will choose for its future. Beyond politics, the Philippines' tourism sector is experiencing a historic boom, reshaping the economy. In 2025, tourism is projected to contribute 5.9 trillion pesos, over 21% of GDP, surpassing pre-pandemic highs. This surge is creating millions of jobs and funding new infrastructure, transforming lives across the islands. International and domestic tourism are both booming, reflecting confidence and stability. The Philippines is now a global model for tourism-driven development, earning praise from international leaders. Forecasts predict even greater growth, cementing tourism as a pillar of national strength. This is not a fleeting moment, but the foundation of a new economic reality. Filipino brands are making waves worldwide, especially in the beverage industry. In 2025, Red Horse Beer ranked as the world's second strongest beer, with San Miguel close behind, both earning elite ratings. Emperador and Ginebra San Miguel have broken into global spirits rankings, signaling Filipino quality and appeal. Massive domestic demand, innovative marketing, and product excellence fuel this rise. The Made in the Philippines label is becoming synonymous with world-class quality. These successes inspire other industries and diversify the nation's global reputation. The world is learning to respect Filipino products as much as its politics and tourism. As the Philippines asserts itself globally, it faces a digital war at home. Nearly half of election-related social media discussions are driven by bots and trolls, aiming to manipulate public opinion. Allegations of foreign interference, especially from China, turn every Filipino's feed into a battleground. Journalists, civil society, and citizens are fighting back, fact-checking and exposing disinformation. This grassroots defense of truth is a new source of national strength. The world watches closely as the Philippines becomes a test case for democracy in the digital age. The nation's strength is now measured by its ability to defend both its borders and its truth. The Philippines of 2025 is a nation reborn, dynamic, assertive, and impossible to ignore. Its blend of hard power in the South China Sea and soft power through tourism and brands makes it uniquely influential. Internal struggles, from elections to the fight against disinformation, are signs of a vibrant democracy. The world watches because the Philippines is a bellwether for democracy's future in the digital age. The resilience and patriotism of ordinary Filipinos inspire and command respect. This is a story of a nation rising, demanding its place on the world stage. The challenges ahead are real, but the trajectory is clear. The Filipino century has begun, and the world is watching.